Expect that she was going to open her eyes.
We're talking about, what, 4 or 5 days ago, this woman was shot point blank in the head.
I know.
And now she's moving around. She's responding to people in the room. Just, again, the president broke that news. We were all kind of in shock because it's not what we were expecting here.
No, not at all. And, of course, that was one part of his speech last night. He also was really trying to comfort, attempting to draw the country together amid the bitter back and forth that has engulfed the political landscape at times. And his words were both
drugs or possibly drinking.
I'm just hoping mine will use the bathroom without a diaper, but you know what? Eventually, he had other concerns,
Eventually,
right?
That's going to be the worry. But even at 11, you're not necessarily worried about drugs and alcohol, but should they be subject at that age to random drug testing? 11 years old.
Kids are growing up too fast these days. Everyone will agree with that. But one New Jersey school district is looking to expand its program to include middle school students, which would mean drug testing 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. They had an important vote on it last night. Mary Snow following this story. Is this in 41 minutes past the hour now? No doubt women have become a force in the American workplace. Roughly 40% of management positions are now held by women. Still, though, just a fraction are at the very top of the corporate food chain. Only 12 women are CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. But 11 women don't have to choose between a career and a family. We want you to meet one woman who made it happen. Welcome back to American Morning. Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords and former Reagan Press Secretary Jim Brady, both of them shot in the head during assassination attempts. And like Brady back in 1981, Giffords is showing signs of recovery just days afterward. The similarities also don't end there. Our Jim Acosta is live in Washington. And Jim, you...
And at the top of the hour here, good morning to you all on this Thursday, January the 13th. Glad you could be here with us. I'm TJ.
I'm Kiran Chetry. Well, we begin with the breaking news and the heartwarming news that we learned late last night. President Obama delivering it to the nation that Gabrielle Giffords, the congresswoman, actually opened her eyes for the first time since Saturday's shooting.
Yeah, this news...
That makes you want to just go home and cook a good meal, doesn't it, TJ?
It does.
Even though you don't have any kids yet. Well,
it's not as hard as you think.
When will the thaw come? It's frigid across the Northeast, and in the South they're dealing with... I guess Phil lost a bet this morning.
Yeah, that wasn't staged. He really was probably paying somebody off this morning. The next hour, we got something coming up, and stay with us here. You hate to hear stories about marriage and infidelity, but we do have to talk about... All right, good news, possibly, for your paycheck. This is great.
I'd like to hear this. We're all ears.
It happens. We're all... Okay. I even got you paying attention to me this morning. That's rare. No, I'm teasing. According to a new compensation...
40 minutes past the hour, our next guest's article that is raising a little bit of controversy. When it comes to raising successful kids, Chinese mothers have it right. Amy Chua is raising her children the way that she was raised, with a few hiccups along the way, but in a strict Chinese household. And she's written about her somewhat extreme parenting methods in her new book. Here's an excerpt. The book is People Talking. Certainly, it's generating a lot of controversy. That is from Nepal and the Asian culture. I mean, you know, when you're a child or a product of the Asian culture, and this is general, but you know, there is a greater emphasis on listening to your parents and to studying.
Right.
And also to just measuring up to their expectations of you, not what you want.
Right, right.
So how did you find, as you wrote this book, how did you weave that into the way you raised your girls?
Well, you know, one thing that...
It was growing pains for you as well, but let's talk first of all about take issue with the fact that it said Chinese, but you're writing about what you know, because that's how your parents raised you.
It's just my story, and I actually say early on...
Of that as you know, more of us grow up in America and grow up in, you know, Western influences. My dad always had said to me that learning is a privilege and going to school is a privilege.
Right.
And he sort of carried that ethic with him, and he did impose that on me, and I laughed in your book when you talked about if you get all A's and a B, the question, you know, an American parent would say, congratulations, you're doing great. And a Chinese parent, as you're putting it, would say, why the heck did you get a B? That's not acceptable.
Did that happen to you?
Of course.
Right, I know. And
what can Western parents learn, though, about those high expectations, about the emphasis on studying that you talk about?
Yeah, I think that
the title of your book is actually Battle Hymn of the Tiger Mother. It's not Chinese moms are superior, but it did get the attention of a lot of people, and it did get forwarded around. Amy Chua, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Sure. TJ?
Did I